morning, everybody. My name is John Clegg with Clegg Industries, and this is our latest project. This trailer's built for the Air Force, Eglin Air Force Base, and it's going to be used in research, testing, and development of new weapon systems. So it's got a lot of special features. One of the main things is it's a shielded trailer, so there's no RF can get in or out into the trailer or out the trailer. So the best example is if you go inside and try to use your cell phone, it won't work because the entire trailer is a barrier for RF. Also, it has a great deal of insulation in it, special gasketing to make it very soundproof. So the work that's being done, that will be done inside, is classified work, so it has to be protected. So that's the reason for all these safety features of the shielding and the sound attenuation. So the trailer is a 53-foot van, legal height, legal width, and I want to start on this spot right here, and we'll walk around the outside. I'll tell you all the features about it, and then we'll go on the inside. So I'm going to start right here. You'll notice that this trailer's got exterior conduits on it and wires. The reason for that is we can't have any kind of cable going through the body because a cable penetrating the body acts like an antenna. So the floodlights, the cameras, antenna leads, there's a lot of cables that are going to be external to the body. So we have to maintain the integrity of that shielding. So this particular conduit is going up and powers up the floodlights. So everything below the floor line is not shielded. So baggage compartments, all that kind of stuff is not shielded. Floor line up, it's all shielded. So right here we're going up to 12 volts for our floodlights, and you'll notice we got the floodlights mounted on the roof and the wires are exposed. You'll see floodlights along both sides. So moving along, we've got a little level right here just so when it's leveled out that the operator can see how he's doing for level. This trailer has a hydraulic leveling system, and I've already got the legs down. You can see one of the legs down here below that's deployed. So this trailer doesn't have a generator. The Air Force has their own generator, but you can see our big cables here that plug in, and we're operating off of our generator for testing. So those cables just unplug, coil up, and they're stowed in the belly boxes for transit. You can also see under here the main breaker panel. There's a special transformer that filters the power, and when we get around the other side, you'll see a filter. So the power that's going into the trailer goes through a specialized filter, so it protects the power cables from becoming an antenna. You'll see our air compressor, and that'll make sense in a minute. That's to operate our mast. This thing has a mast on it, so it goes up and down for communication purposes. This is the control panel for the hydraulic jacks. Anywhere a person can just stand out here and operate the jacks. I just hit the button. Anyway. So this has all got lights up in here. There's a great deal of storage underneath this trailer. Probably more than you'll ever need. So the staircases get stowed away under there. And we got a spare tire back here in one of them. All these baggage doors have locks. And you'll notice that we put some big D-rings on the trailer right here. This is for securing the trailer if it ever has to be, well, for instance, a hurricane. If you wanted to strap it down just for extra safety. But primarily if you wanted to put this trailer in a cargo plane and fly it somewhere, these tie downs would be used to tie it down inside the airplane. Okay, you'll notice this trailer's got 4 slides. So when these slides are out, this trailer's got a lot of room inside. You'll see in a minute when we go inside. So these rooms go in or out just like you see on an RV. This is a data patch panel. So cable leads that were coming in for specialized communications, the customer can put bulkhead fittings right here and plug data cables in. The only thing is, whenever they put a cable through here, they've got to put it through a data filter. So that's work that will be done by the customer. There's another one of these up front also, 2 places. That's just a little compartment to get to the mechanical gear on the lift gate. So you'll notice this thing has a lift gate, controllers right here. Lift gate can go up and down, tilt, used for cargo only. When these back doors are closed, it creates our barrier, and these doors are typically not utilized except for loading and unloading cargo. So 99% of the time those doors are shut, and you'll see there's a metal gasket right here. That's what makes our barrier, our RF barrier. So when the doors are shut and latched, you'll see metal in those gaskets right there. So we have a continuous bond for our RF all through the trailer. You'll notice that curtain right there, it's just not deployed right now, but that's an additional barrier for that back door, because sometimes it's hard to make these gaskets seal off 100%. That is metallized fabric, so there's metal woven all through that fabric, and we have metallized Velcro that it attaches so the doors are shut and that curtain gets deployed. So we'll see more of that when we go inside. I like this. This deck has also got these little pop-ups, so when you've got like some kind of cart on the deck, you pop these up so it can't accidentally roll off. Warning, these are just warning lights that are on so nobody runs into this when it's deployed. Okay, you can see up there a camera and a speaker. There's cameras all the way around this trailer. And the speaker is such that if someone was to come up to the trailer and they want to get inside, the operators could see who they are, and then they could speak to them and find out who they are and decide whether or not they want to allow them access into the trailer. A couple things underneath here, you'll see this handle right here. It's basically a big ratchet. Now, it does come out, but right now it's deployed. That's what cranks the rooms in or out. There's one on each side, so this deck would be out of the way, and a person, it's very low effort to make the rooms go in and out. So that's what that's for. You see the hydraulic cylinders for the lift gate. That's another compartment to get to the mechanical gear for the lift gate. These are the latches that lock when the room is in or out. More locks, more handles to keep it latched. This is all storage underneath here. It's all empty right now. You see the tie down rings on this side, another level. This is just an access panel to get in there. That's where that specialized filter is that filters the power. We might be able to see it from right here. Now there's the power filter right there, that big blue box. Another access panel up in the front there, that's for hydraulic equipment, for the jacks. And there's another view of one of the jack feet that's deployed. We've got 2 big wall pack air conditioners with heat. Actually, one of these in most cases will handle the heating and cooling requirements of the trailer, but the second one is for backup. You can alternate them back and forth, or if you had an extremely hot day, you might have to run two of them. More lights, more cameras. So we can continue on around to the other side. Okay, right between these two air conditioners is a pneumatic mass. So it uses compressed air, and there's a controller in there to make it go up and down. So the air compressor in the belly box provides the air to it. It comes into a control valve, and it's just real simple operation, just up or down. But the customer can put antennas on there if they want to have radio communications or any other requirement. They might want to put something on a mast. So that mast goes up in the air about 35 feet. It's a multi-stage mast. All right, we've given you a tour of the outside. Now we're going to go inside. I want to explain this door a minute. This is the most secure door you can have in a secret room. We use these doors on skiff rooms, and this is actually a modified skiff. But you've got to have the right codes and the right authorization to be able to get in this room. So if you're coming up to this enclosure for the first time in the morning and you're trying to get in, there's actually two levels of access. The first one is a tumbler, like a safe. So the senior commander has to come in and put a code in to open this lock. After this lock is open, then you can put in a secret code onto the touchpad, and then the door will open. And there's also a key backup. That key would not normally be there. So let's assume that all the locks are open and we've been allowed to go in. So this big handle rotates that much and the door opens. So this is called a brass knife edge door. You'll see this very sharp knife edge right here. This is brass. It goes into these fingers right here. When the door shuts, all that's engaged, and now we've protected our RF. So this door this is where you go in and out all day long, not the back door. So you'll see some of the mechanical gear here for this door. This is to be deployed by the customer. This is part of the intrusion detection system. So there's a lot going on here. If somebody goes into this enclosure, Central Command will know it. There's a lot of codes that have to be in the right place for a person to be granted access. So this is some stuff that's done by the customer, final connections, the final intrusion detection system gets all coded and deployed, and so we will never know. So after this trailer is on station, I wouldn't be able to get in it. Just like very much like a bank vault. So we'll go inside now, and I'll shut the door. Okay, we're inside the trailer now, and I want to show you how this thing makes this final connection. I pulled it in a little bit. Now I can rotate this handle, and you can see all three rollers that will pull the door in to the knife edge. So now it's fully shut. We got our RF completely protected. So coming around this corner here, this is our big screen monitor that goes on a rack back there. We've got it stowed right now, but when this trailer is deployed, take this out and hang it back there. We want it in here for transit so it doesn't get broken. These are air conditioner grills. This is return air going through here with filters, and then the discharge air goes through the ceiling and comes out through ceiling vents. This is the controller for the two air conditioners right here. There's going to be a high security safe that goes right here. So the most top secret thumb drives, drawings, anything that's got to be in a super secure environment will be in this GSA safe. So it's hard to get in the trailer, but then you've got to have also the codes to be able to get into the safe. So that's what sits right there. Then we got just a little bit of convenience items here. We got a little small refrigerator, a microwave, some cabinets, just general storage, drawers, overheads. A lot of cabinet space in here. First aid kit. This is more filtering equipment. This is a transector. This item is to detect any kind of anomalies in the electrical power. So everything is super filtered and right on 60 hertz, right on 120 volts. It has to be that way for the safety of the electronics. Inside panel right here. This is our electronic rack. We got 3 big bays. I'm not sure if it's, I think it's locked, so I can't open it right now. Anyway, lots of room for rack mounted equipment. This rack can roll out. We got these custom built slide systems we built. And the reason for that is to be able to get behind the rack to hook up cables to electronic gear. So here's the rack coming out. Now, you can get behind the rack, hook up things right here. And the side panels come off these racks also, here and here. So plenty of access to the racks. Plenty of brackets to hold them stable. Got to have all that for travel. Walking into the first work area right here now. So all these floor panels come up. Now they have to lift up and hinge so that the rooms can come in. So that's why you'll see all these panels like they are. We've got some special tie down points we put in both rooms. So you could park an item here and tie it down for transit. There's a certain amount of room in here when it's closed, but you'll see there's a lot of room when the rooms are out. I want to point out these curtains. This was one of the main features of this trailer. In order to keep the RF in, we've got to have all this metallized fabric with metallized Velcro. So the entire trailer, underneath all this carpet and underneath all this equipment, is a complete barrier of foil, specialized foil, metal foil. So it's like a double barrier. The trailer skin is made out of metal, but we've also got the foil, which is a double barrier. So when all this stuff is deployed, we keep the RF in and out. It won't pass through. You'll notice that all the electrical, all the data cables, all the cableways are all mounted on their surface mounted equipment. And again, that's because we're maintaining our barrier. So we don't want to drill holes through or have wires going through our barrier. So that's what you'll normally see in a shielded room. All these power cables, cableways, places for data and power. We've got dual monitor mounts at every station. So each one of these is a workstation. So this thing has the ability to house quite a few people. Workstation, right there, another one, 2 more, that's 4 right there in that room. And let's see, 8 more in this room. So a total of 12 workstations. But all this barrier comes off when the rooms fold in. So they'll just be laying loose, rooms come in. These walls fold up. I think we've got one of them unpinned here. Let me see if I can get it up. Well, it's got the... Let me go ahead and take the fabric off. So I'll just show you how these panels come up. See outside, metallized gaskets all the way around. When they're down, they engage the trailer. Those are folded up when the rooms come in. I've got the fabric peeled back, metallized fabric right there. Like I said before, everything is surface mounted. All the electrical gear, data cables. Okay, so this door here is not a shielded door, but it's a sound attenuated door. So it could be that there's work going on in here and there's work going on in there, different kind of work, and they don't want any sound to go from one room to the other. So this door accomplishes that. So very secure. I want to point out these jumpers right here. So when the room is deployed, these cables plug in to complete the circuit, electrical and data. They have to be like that because we have to be able to roll the room in. So that's one of the things that has to be put on whenever they get it just where it's going to be doing its work. More of the same, workstations. Incidentally, the data at the bottom is what's called secure data. The data at the top is unsecured. 2 levels of security on the data. Just a lot more metallized curtains. Got tie down rings in the floor here. And then we built this custom table that goes up and down. And I'm going to try to demonstrate it for you. Okay, I want to just demonstrate this work table right here. This is probably one of the coolest tables we ever built. We made it so it goes up and down. It's all made out of aluminum. One of our associates, Carl McGee, is the designer and the builder of this table. So it goes up and down and it tilts. And the reason we did that is because when the room closes in, we didn't have enough room for this much surface. So it tilts for stowage. But normally it's deployed like this, but you can actually work on it at this height, or you can take it down and use it as a conference table. So I'm pushing it down right now. I've got remote control right here. So I'll just let it down. And all of these rooms will be, they'll have big high back chairs in here. They're just not in here yet. Okay, so now it's a conference table with data ports, electrical and data. So a person could be sitting here with a laptop, hook up to the data ports. There's cables in the floor. It goes into the system, and you could be talking to the rack. You could be communicating with some gear or computers in the rack. The table's got to be all the way down for it to go into tilt mode. Well, another feature of this, if you want to look at a blueprint or a drawing, you could put it right here on this table. So this is the camera system right here. There's a monitor, there's a microphone that you can speak to somebody outside. You can't hear them, but if you wanted to tell somebody, hey, get away from here, whatever, you could talk to them. Just more controls for the cameras up in this compartment here. Coming around the back, more cables. These are the camera cables. These have to remain loose again because, well, when the room's deployed, they'll be hooked up, but then when the room comes in, we have to disconnect them, so that's why they're like that. Just a way to interface those. And you'll notice at the back of the trailer that all those camera cables are all external. They're going through a filter up here to get to the outside. Data filter. These are all our support braces for our room, the floors. When we roll a room in, we have to fold the floors up, and we use these rods here to hold the floor panels up as we travel down the road. Of course, we got an emergency exit that if the power goes out, that light will come on if a person had to exit these back doors in an emergency. Here's another view of our metallized Velcro. Just protecting our RF. Fire extinguisher. Well, I've tried to show you everything about the trailer. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we expect that this trailer will do a good job for our armed forces. It'll be going to the Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Thanks again for watching.